The re-release of Street Fighter 2 on the Nintendo Switch drew a lot of criticism in regards to its value proposition. For many people, a simple port of a 25-year-old game isn't worth 60 Australian dollars, especially when you can buy used copies of the previous versions for less money. In fact, I picked up Street Fighter 2 on the 3DO for 5 Australian dollar dues. Unfortunately, it won't work on the Nintendo Switch. I tried. Bloody rust bucket. Of course, it works just fine on the 3DO. This port is based on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or in my case, the Japanese version, Super Street Fighter 2X. You can tell mine is the Japanese version since Balrog, Bison, and Vega's names have been swapped. But regardless of which version you get, they both come with the 12 original characters, plus the 4 new characters introduced in the new challenges, as well as Akuma, who can be accessed using a cheat code. The Turbo name naturally implies you can adjust the speed of the game, making it faster or slower. The 3DO port was really impressive for the time, getting closer to the arcade version than any of the Street Fighter 2 ports on the Sega Mega Drive and Super Nintendo. Because the game ships on a CD, you get higher quality audio, but it adds slightly longer loading times. However, the port isn't without faults, with the controls being the main issue. The standard 3DO pad only had 5 buttons, with the start button acting as the 6th button. The game allows you to customize the controls, but purists will want to track down a 6-button controller for the 3DO. Sadly, I didn't have access to one during the recording of this review, and I mentioned this in my Total Eclipse review, but the 3DO's D-pad is really stiff. The issue is noticeable in a fighting game where you have to perform rapid movements to pull off the special moves. I found it almost impossible to do half circles of any form, but to be honest, I'm not that good at Street Fighter 2, so my gameplay would have been just as lousy with a Super Nintendo controller. Fortunately, the core gameplay is still intact, and Street Fighter 2 has solidified itself as one of the greatest games of all time. It's difficult to understand in 2017 why Street Fighter 2 was so great with hundreds of other fighting games on the market. But you have to remember, back in the early 90s, there was nothing like this. Street Fighter 2 was a fighting game everyone could play. It was easy to pick up and play, but you could spend hours mastering it. I think the main thing that turned this game into a juggernaut was its personality. The cast of Street Fighter 2 is truly iconic, with larger-than-life characters, each with their own personality and backgrounds. You had people from all over the world with different nationalities, skin color, and fashion. Everyone was able to find someone they could relate to. It doesn't matter if you choose the 3DO or the Nintendo Switch version, you're still going to have a lot of fun with Street Fighter 2. At least both of them have an arcade mode and don't contain a season pass or make you wait for them to patch the rest of the game in, like a certain Street Fighter game that will not be named.
9, 8, 7, 6,